So I actually got out and did a little bit of hunting in the wild. I didn't have a whole lot of success. I looked at one antique shop, and then I was killing some time, and I popped into this Half Price Books. I've had good luck at that antique shop in the past, but no luck this time. And then I've had no luck at this Half Price Books probably about a year or so ago. And then this time popped in there and got some cool books. So you just never know what you're quite going to get, if you will. So this is just me filtering through some books, and then we'll get to what I picked up in just a moment. So I got out and I bought 3 books from Half Price Books. I just liked the covers and I liked them. And I hadn't bought a book out in the wild in a while. So this is Superman's Girlfriend, Lois Lane. This is 136. Just a really cool cover. I like the the sprint car, Indy car. It's open wheel. Just like the car. The next book I got was Blue Beetle #1. I can't remember which volume this is, but it's really cool. It's got a really cool date stamp up at the top. I think it was March or May 6th, 1965. Let's take a closer look. May 6th, 1965. Next book, really, really cool Neil Adams cover. There's 3 of these books that exist where he did these front and back wraparound covers. So I'll try to flash up a picture of those to let you see what those wraparound covers look like, or at least give you a little bit more detail on this wraparound cover. Sorry for the lighting at the first part of this, but this is a starting lineup from 1990. Murfinator, you should like this. This is a Red Sox player. I believe his name was Mike Greenwell, and that's one of my first starting lineups. Also had a Bo Jackson starting lineup, baseball player, and Joe Montana. Still got a bunch of them in the package, but the bottom dropped out on them. There's Robin. And I believe that Doc Ock, he was like from McDonald's or Burger King or something like that. He was a Happy Meal toy or something like that. Then just some random other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that we found. Some of these are probably my brother's as well, but just some old toys that I found while cleaning out the old childhood home, and figured, why not show them to y'all? Here's some other actual toys of mine. This is Captain America. That was actually my toy whenever I was growing up. And then that Daredevil 2099, I believe is what that was. That was my toy. And then let's go over here real quick and take a look at, this is my original Superpowers Flash figure. He is so wore out that he can't stand up anymore. So I just sort of put him up there with Batman, just sort of hanging out, man, just looking around. And then, that's just some toys that I went back and rebought. So just some cool old toys of mine.
They're here with a whole new act. The Grapevine Tour, only at Hardee's.
So also found one of my original thermos and lunch boxes. California raisins. They were really big back in the 80s, maybe early 90s, but it was a big push for kids to have healthy alternatives, I guess, and eat raisins. So it took over. It was a pretty big fad if you lived in the 80s, and Hardee's had the little toys that you could buy and stuff, and it was really cool. Also got this lunchbox, or found this one. This was one of my originals. It's not quite a matching set, but it's Batman the Animated Series thermos, and then a Nintendo Power Super Mario Brothers Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link. So really cool, some of my original thermoses. So thought y'all might like to look at those, and maybe y'all had some of these too. Okay, so these next one, this is a Flintstones glass. It was celebrating the first 30 years of the Flintstones. It's really cool because it's a drive-in, and they're in their vehicle. So it's from 1960. The glass is not from 1964. It's representative of 1964. But if you've never been into a drive-in, go to a drive-in theater. Really, really cool. But I always liked the Flintstones growing up. My first love in reading books was Garfield. I really liked the Garfield cartoons back when I was a kid, and then all the little books that they had. And hey man, it's not a pretty life, but somebody has to live it, you know. So speaking about somebody having to live it, let's look at some golden age graded books. Alright man, got 2 golden age graded books. This first one is Startling Comics number 29. This is from September of 1944. It's a World War II cover. It's a Schomburg cover. Love Schomburg. He had some excellent work. But this is Pyro Man. I'll tell you a little bit about Pyro Man right here. So Pyro Man was a secret identity of research student Dick Martin. Due to his work with high voltage electricity, his body developed the ability to store current. He discovered this ability after he was wrongly charged with murder and sentenced to die in the electric chair. He instead found himself endowed with electrical powers. After clearing his name, he decided to fight crime, folks. Decided to be a good guy. And here's some of the interiors from that book. So, really cool artwork, really cool theme. You know, I just love World War II stuff. Y'all know that. If you've watched my channel, look at that. For victory, save fats, waste, paper, and old rubber. So all throughout this comic, you've got constant reminders of, hey, there's a war going on, and we need to be doing everything we can to try to help that. See more. So good old-fashioned World War II propaganda. But really cool, really cool. I've also always thought it was funny that I don't think the Germans put rockets in English on their stuff, but it's really cool, and I understand why they did it. But I've always just found that funny. But Schomburg was the man. He's a good man. I told y'all I was a little bit rusty as well. I finally figured out why my books weren't level. There's a screw in there on how I've got all my comics mounted, and it was tilting it off a little bit. So hopefully I got that fixed.
Officer? Good evening, Officer Mooney.
I have wanted this book since I first bought the 24 by 36 poster. It's a giant size poster, and I just fell in love with it from there. I love yellow covers, and I really think the yellow backgrounds with Superman's suit looks really, really well. It pops. So I'm a big fan of yellow backgrounds on covers. But this is Action Comics 33, and I believe it is from like February of 1941. So way back in the day. Man, I'm just classic cover. Really, really, really happy to have this now in my collection. I'm not the hugest Superman fan, but there are some really cool early Golden Age covers of Superman, so that's why I bought it. I was glad to have it. So watch this next auction and let's see if I did it. Alright, so you're going to see what I put in for a bid. That's a lot of money to spend on a comic. Wouldn't be the most money I've spent on a comic, but it's a lot of money. This is a big book. It's a big Fantastic Four book. Let's see if I got it. Oh no! What happened? Oh crap! I missed by a couple bucks, man.